So why not switch on those interferons 24/7 in humans? Well, in us, they also tend to cause lots of inflammation and cell damage. Like the symptoms you feel from the flu, a lot of that is your immune system's fault. But the key might be to do as the bouts do.
In exchange for these services, the grasses offer ruminants a plentiful and exclusive supply of lunch. For cows have evolved the special ability to convert grass, which single-stomached creatures like us can't digest, into high-quality protein. They can do this because they possess what is surely the most highly evolved digestive organ in nature, the rumen.
Television is bound to have tremendous impact on a child. When a parent is concerned about the effects of television, they should consider a number of things. What TV offers the child in terms of information and knowledge. How many hours a week a youngster his age should watch television, the impact of violence and sex, and the influence of commercials.
In the spirit of comparative immunology, Baker and her colleagues looked at how another mammal, the black flying fox, a type of bat, handles infections. They sequenced its immunity genes and observed the immune response in normal bat cells. And they found that, unlike us, the bats always have interferons on patrol, meaning the proteins do not wait to be activated by invaders.
Kinderman says he thinks the compound could be a win-win for the planet and the animals. You know, the methane is kind of a waste product. And this energy, instead of losing it for the animal, it can be reused for the animal in terms of performance. And at the same time, we are doing something for greenhouse gas emission and climate change. The product's not on the market yet. Toxicology tests are ongoing.
The uniquely scented flavor of vanilla is second only to chocolate in popularity on the world's palate. It's also the second most expensive spice after saffron, but highly labor-intensive cultivation methods and the plant's temperamental life cycle and propagation mean production on a global scale is struggling to keep up with the increasing demand for the product.
This study tracked about 1,000 adults in the United States and ranged in age from 34 to 93. And they started the study by asking, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also ask, how much time have you spent helping out friends, neighbors, people in your community? And then they used public records for the next 5 years to find out who died.
As to the Industrial Revolution, one cannot dispute today the fact that it has succeeded in inaugurating in a number of countries a level of mass prosperity which was undreamt of in the days preceding the Industrial Revolution. But, on the immediate impact of the Industrial Revolution, there were substantial divergences among writers.
The diversity of human language may be compared to the diversity of the natural world, just as the demise of plant species reduces genetic diversity and deprives humanity or potential medical and biological resources. So extinction of language takes with it a wealth of culture, art, and knowledge.
In classes, your teachers will talk about topics that you are studying. The information that they provide will be important to know when you take tests. You must be able to take good written notes from what your teachers say.
Major breeding areas and breeding islands are shown as dark green areas or dots. Open dots are shown no breeding records on islands and are also used for offshore sightings, that is from ships or boats. Other areas where species are not meant to be seen are plain pale green, with pale green hatching, where records are usually sparse.
How quickly is the world's population growing? In the United States and other developed countries, the current growth rate is very low. In most developing countries, the human population is growing at a rate of nearly 3 people per second. Because of this bustling growth rate, the human population is well on its way to reaching 9 billion within lifetime.
If bonus or incentive pay schemes work so well for senior executives and bankers, why does everyone not get them? After all, many jobs involve making important decisions or taking risks. Is there anything about corporate decisions and financial risks that makes these categories of work special in terms of how they need to be incentivized and rewarded?
Living room is the most used part that withholds most of the traffic coming in and out of the house. It is highly recommended that the flooring should be strong enough that it can endure all such amendments done with your furniture or to the increasing and decreasing ratio of visitors. For this purpose, you can opt for hardwood flooring.
Solar energy is an excellent source of supplying power to homes and companies, and by utilizing solar power, you're not merely protecting the environment from becoming polluted, but also are saving the rest of the Earth's natural resources. Capturing solar energy does not contribute to any pollution and does not harm the atmosphere. One of the factors why many individuals are still hesitant to make use of solar power is because it is expensive. The need, big location of space, aren't taking into consideration solar power.
Once most animals reach adulthood, they stop growing. In contrast, even plants that are thousands of years old continue to grow new needles, add new wood, and produce cones and new flowers, almost as if parts of their bodies remain forever young. The secrets of plant growth are regions of tissue that can produce cells that later develop into specialized tissues.
This is what needs to happen. On climate change, the world needs to put a price on carbon emissions and let the market respond. If politicians pretend this can be done without pain, it will probably result in another 5 to 10 years of pretending to take action.
The primary application we're targeting at first is to give people a decision aid during rehabilitation, following an acute knee injury, to help them understand when they can perform particular activities, and when they can move to different intensities of particular activities. A useful thing to take crack at.
Written examinations are a fact of life for most high school and university students. However, recent studies have shown that this traditional form of assessment may not be an accurate indicator of academic performance. Tests have shown that many students experience anxiety during exam weeks, which leads to poorer results. As a result, some learning institutions are replacing exams with alternative assessments such as group work and oral presentation.
Pluto lost its official status as a planet yesterday, when the International Astronomical Union downsized the solar system from 9 to 8 planets. Although there had been a passionate debate at the General Assembly meeting in Prague about the definition of a planet and whether Pluto met the specifications, the audience greeted the decision to exclude it with applause.
The core of the problem was the immense disparity between the country's productive capacity and the ability of people to consume. Great innovations in productive techniques during and after the war raised the output of industry beyond the purchasing capacity of U.S. farmers and wage earners.
Such cross protection is usually seen between two animals, but Goss studies the same sort of mutualism in microbes. He and his team demonstrated the first experimental example of that cross-protective relationship in drug-resistant microbes, using two strains of antibiotic-resistant Cobacteria, one resistant to ampicillin, the other to chloramphenicol.
The Ford Company provides plenty of opportunities for its employees. It guarantees not only comfortable and appropriate working conditions, but also many other advantages. Therefore, becoming a part of the Ford Motor Company is always profitable and beneficial. Moreover, it is important to mention that Ford Motors provides its employees with effective and useful services and takes care of their well-being.
Augustus was given the powers of an absolute monarch, but he presented himself as the preserver of republican traditions. He treated the Senate, or State Council, with great respect, and was made consul year after year. He successfully reduced the political power of the army by retiring many soldiers, but giving them land or money to keep their loyalty.
in an attempt to lure new students. Leading business schools, including Harvard, Stanford, the University of Chicago, and Wharton, have moved away from the unofficial admissions and prerequisite of 4 years of work experience and instead have set their sights on recent college graduates and so-called early career professionals with only a couple years of work under their belt.
It isn't rare for private equity houses to hire grads fresh out of business school, he said, but 9 times out of 10, the students who nab these jobs are the ones who had private equity experience under their belt before even starting their MBA program.
Surprisingly, despite what appeared to be infinite variations, all difficult conversations share a common structure. When you're caught up in the details and anxiety of a particular difficult conversation, this structure is hard to see, but understanding that structure is essential to improve how you handle your most challenging conversations.
Japan's parliament tightened limits on overtime hours, responding to concerns about karoshi, or death by overwork, and seeking to improve productivity in a country where long hours are more accustomed than business necessity.
Australian workplaces are increasingly suffering from depression, anxiety, and stress. According to a large study, Mental Health in Corporate Australia, mental illness appears to have increased by a third in the last decade. Depression is now the primary mental health disorder.
YouTube has banned videos that show people how to manufacture or modify guns and their accessories. It had already banned videos linked to the sale of guns and accessories. Many firearms enthusiasts noticed that some of their videos had been removed from the video sharing website and some had their channels suspended.
How do we imagine the unimaginable if we are asked to think of an object, say, a yellow tulip? A picture immediately forms in our mind's eye. But what if we try to imagine a concept such as the square root of a negative number?
The racial and identity politics were subtle and complex, but real and in full operation every day. The target of racial jokes changed erratically, and the cruelty would vary depending on the target's position in the coolness hierarchy at school.
Our field teams have come across fish in distress or even eels stranded, and it is simply that the water's got too hot. Often dissolved oxygen concentrations go down as water temperature increases, and animals may seek refuge outside the water, or in fact they may be stranded if the water's evaporating very quickly.
For example, students might try to enroll for the free year despite having previously studied and therefore being ineligible. The report said the government held no records of study from before 2003 in order to verify eligibility, meaning it would have to rely on students' declarations.
A Dutch consortium has developed an electrical bicycle that prevents elderly people from falling. The smart assistive bicycle, called Sophie, increases stability by, amongst others, a drive-off assistance and by automatically lowering the saddle at low speeds.
Shoppers hoping to bag a bargain in the post-Christmas sales are much less likely to go through with their purchases if they are using phones and tablets to buy goods online.
Online students who use the innovative robots feel more engaged and connected to the instructor and students in the classroom. The first ever study of a pioneering robot learning course shows. Exercise can reverse damage to sedentary, aging hearts and help prevent risk of future heart failure if it's enough exercise and if it's begun in time, according to a new study by cardiologists. So why not switch on those interferons 24/7 in humans? Well, in us, they also tend to cause lots of inflammation and cell damage. Like the symptoms you feel from the flu, a lot of that is your immune system's fault. But the key might be to do as the bats do.
The uniquely scented flavor of vanilla is second only to chocolate in popularity on the world's palate. It's also the second most expensive spice after saffron. But highly labor-intensive cultivation methods and the plant's temperamental life cycle and propagation mean production on a global scale is struggling to keep up with the increasing demand for the product.